Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first commentary about a ranked game I played yesterday on the stream. So this is yeah, the map Conquest, and we are playing this arms race ranked. So in the ship recommendations video, I said, okay, if you don't know how it works, inform yourself, please, and don't be annoying to your team by not knowing what you're doing. So this is completely different than the usual ranked, but I will go into detail soon enough. Some of you might wonder why don't I pick the Kitakaze, because I rate the Kitakaze so strong, and picked instead the Jutland. Well, Jutland was also top pick, but I give you an insight why I think the Jutland is even a tiny bit better. But let's do this later on. So first of all, you see these areas here. These are buff areas, and you want to get as many buffs as possible. If you're the first one in a buff area and you stay when there's a plane coming that drops the actual buff container or whatever it is, you have to stay there. It's like taking normally 2 minutes or something. And if you are the first one in, you receive the buff 2 times, while the whole team receives the 1 time the buff. So whenever some destroyer buddy or whatever ship buddy teammate is going in here, in this one, I won't receive 2 buffs, but I will receive, what is it? This here is concealment. This is consumable reload. Don't know why the Yugumo just went through, but I guess he wants to go right into the middle where you get a steering gear buff. That helps you out with the maneuverability. A really helpful tool when you're playing with the Kitakaze, since it's a bit sluggish in that regard. So since nobody is going into this area here, I'm happily going to wait until the buff is dropped. This is a replay mistake, or whatever you want to call it. Of course the timer ticks down, and it's not at 0-0, but you will hear the plane and then the buff is getting dropped, and yeah. So this is basically it for the first. I mean, as soon as you receive the buff, the area will go away. Oh my god, what a bad English, but okay. You won't see it anymore, and after a while there will be on the map some other buffs. And that's what the fight is about. You see it? There are 3 new buffs appeared. And that's basically it. So I received now 4 buffs. 1 from here, 1 from here, and 2 of mine. So this is basically how these buffs are working. If you check my concealment, it's now at 5.4. Normally you have a 5.7 kilometer concealment in the Jutland, and yeah, that of course changed.
Torpedoes dead ahead.
Alright, radared from the Kronstadt, but he popped it too early, I think, and now I'm safe again, so I can play a bit more aggressive. After 8 minutes there will be a big circle in the middle of the map where you have to fight about, and the one who gets control receives a lot of, or yeah, the points are ticking really fast up to 1000, so you can't let it let the enemy have it unblocked. That's really bad. Alright, that's in general about arms race. I think I explained it quite a lot. My conclusion so far, compared to the other ranked seasons, pretty nice. I like it somehow. Also, if you look at the lineups, this is basically how they look. Could be also 40Ds and no cruisers and so on. So this is basically how it is. So a lot of destroyers, not many cruisers, some battleships. So if you like to play destroyers, and let's be honest, playing destroyer with the current CV rework meta is quite a tough thing, so this is your only asylum that you have. Okay, I'm hitting some torps on the Musashi and the Kronstadt there, which is of course good. I'm not opening up on the Z46 since I'm still too close to these guys. I'm playing a bit more careful. So now why do I play this Jutland and not the Kitakaze? Well, the Jutland has some things going for it, utility-wise, that the Kitakaze doesn't. And that's basically, you're really versatile. You have a good good firepower. That's one thing. You have your smokes almost every time available. You have access to hydro, and you have on top a heal. Combine that with a good maneuverability and acceleration of the ship, it's just nasty. And you see how I will just surprise attack this Kitakaze. That's the thing you can't do in the Kitakaze. I mean, he shouldn't be here isolated alone, that's for sure as well. But of course the Hydro comes in handy in such situations. So don't underestimate this. I mean, Kitakaze, if it can bring its DPM to bear, then it's of course a bit stronger than the Jutland. But you saw what... I mean, I didn't even need it to... What did... Oh, I did smoke, sorry. Yeah. On the other hand, we just lost 2 ships, which is bad. But going now for this cap area or buff area, try to receive the buff, and good it is. Yep. That's not my buff, that's I think another buff from somewhere here. Or was it? Yeah, I mean the replay is a bit bugged, so I can't say. But you normally don't need the steering gear on a Jutland. It's just basically pretty good. Okay, the Z46 is doing exactly the same mistakes. You don't want to get close in like Z46, even Fletcher Black. You don't want to get close to Jutlands or Kitakazes. This is basically what it is about. Of course, you can also juke the torpedoes here with the acceleration so perfectly. Makes so much fun. And of course you have also good torpedoes with a good reload. Yeah. I will go over my spec after the game. But this is the absolute DD killer in my opinion. Even the Kitakaze isn't as strong in my opinion. If you receive the buffs more and more, you can heal up again and again. It's just amazing. Let's put it like that. Alright, so we can gain control over these whole areas here. I think if the buff area here is green, that means that it is activated, so I just need to enter it and like everybody in my team receives the buff. Yeah. And now we are playing around. I mean, first rule in ranked is, of course, you play cautious and you look for opportunities. That Kitakaze, isolated from its team, was kind of a good opportunity. And now I try to help out my team here. And see what I can do. So far I had quite a lot of damage. Normally your damage in the Jutland consists of killing enemy destroyers, so the base XP values that you receive are quite high. So I wanna sit here and pummel the Kronstadt a bit, since it's the only ship with Hydro here, with Radar. He's concerned with other stuff, so I can free farm him right now. The thing with the Kronstadt is it simply doesn't have the DPM to handle DDs. It's more of a support ship for your team. I mean, it's, as I said, I rated high, but of course your team needs to capitalize on it. Musashi goes down to Z46 torpedoes and flooding, since the Neptune hit him before. And yeah. But we lose our Seattle, and suddenly it's just Kronstadt, Neptune, and myself. No, Kronstadt, Neptune versus Z46 and myself. So I try to inflict another fire, and finally I get it. And now I have to bail. You see the circle now? This is basically the area you want to be in. And the enemy needs to block it, otherwise if you are capping, this is counting up, or like going up to 1000 pretty quick. So as I said, you can't let the enemy have it uncontested. Alright, there's another buff I can just receive, I will do that. And now it comes down to team play. You might wonder why I open up on a Neptune. Well, the plan was maybe he runs into my torps, but it was probably a bit too late, shouldn't have done it. But it's, I mean, as long as I angle, I should be fine. You see, I almost received no damage. Okay, I can only shoot my back turret, but it's fine. Also, I have it. Can I call it?
Smoke screen set.
Yeah, the heal from the buffs, so I'm not so concerned. I have still 2 heals going for me. And of course now the Z46 is spotting for me. And if you can like turn this around all the time, so one time the Z is spotting, one time the myself is spotting, you can pump or whittle down these cruisers quite easily, even the Neptune with heal and so on. Of course I'm running away, probably get the buff, right? Yep, I get it. Stay maintaining my angling. The Z46 is radared. I think I can't say which radar it is. Probably Kronstadt, but I'm not sure. I don't want to shoot because I don't want to keep my firing buff up. Okay, they have both radar, it looks like, so this is of course a bit of a problem. But okay, it maintains. Or stays the same. I have to maintain my angling. Okay, the Neptune had also radar. If you play the Neptune, that's probably the way to go. And don't mind him. Good torps there by the Z46. And yeah. So now we need to just kill this Kronstadt. And Kronstadt, as I said, he doesn't have the DPM. So what I'm doing here is basically just waiting what he's going to decide. I mean, the Z46 can still farm him without being spotted, I hope at least, because he's pretty low in HP. And yeah, therefore I wait what's going to happen or which decision he's going for. He's coming closer, his spotter plane is coming closer. So torping in the expected direction, it looked as if he would go like this path. It's just a guesstimation torp. And now I will sit behind the island. You may ask, why would I do that? Well, it's basically, as I said, the Kronstadt doesn't have the DPM. So Kronstadt you can treat it as kind of a battleship. And battleships are vulnerable to YOLO actions from destroyers. So I guess what he's not expecting is that I'm coming now full speed around the island. I'm going close to him. I mean, I have one torp set ready. I hope I don't lose my torp launchers. This is the worst case scenario that could happen. But yeah, I think we still should have it in the back then. Deciding, okay, now I'm turning to the left.
Fire.
And I'm going for single torpedoes, healing up. And get my torps off and win the game for us.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
So that's what you can basically do. Okay, you could have done this with every destroyer with enough health, let's be honest, but yeah. Kronstadt barely can help himself against that. That's why you can't play that aggressive. I mean, if that would have been in Seattle, that's a totally different story, but yeah, or Buffalo. But Kronstadt has just a simply too long reload for that. Alright, yeah, so ending up at 160,000 damage, which was a pretty good game. 2 kills, 7 torp hits. Let's go over to the base XP. You also receive a lot of base XP since you are fighting destroyers so often, or the majority of the enemy are destroyers, so you will not have the highest damage games normally, but I mean, it's ranked, nobody cares about the damage anyways. And yeah, but your base XP will be high. I mean, depending on what you're capping or what you're killing. So since the Jutland is an excellent DD hunter, you go of course for the kills on destroyers, which gives you, since it's the HP pool is smaller than, for example, on a battleship, but if you kill 100% HP of a destroyer, it's the same as if you would kill 100% HP of a battleship. So that's why the base XP is pretty high in this regard. Alright, yeah, that's it from the game itself. I will go over for one time over my captain build, what I'm running on the Jutland, so you can so I can explain why I chose which perks and so on and so on. All right, see you soon. All right, here we are with the Jutland, this wonderful ship. Let me go first over the module, but there's probably nothing too special. I have all premium consumables. If you wanna get rid of one, then probably the hydroacoustic isn't that important. So you don't need to have it premium. Everything else I rate pretty high, like the heal or the smokes. The smokes is really important because that allows you to disengage always really quick when you have them available on short notice. Short notice, probably. Yeah. So main armament modification 1. This thing tends to lose its turret quite often, so that's definitely mandatory. Then propulsion mod 1, I think it is. Yeah. So if you lose your engine, or so you don't lose your engine that often. Of course, you go for accuracy. Everything else doesn't make any sense, at least not in that mode. Yeah, rudder shift, the other thing is pointless, and you don't get acceleration module since you have already a good acceleration module, acceleration or base acceleration on the Jutland or in the British destroyers in general. Of course, concealment, you want to buff your ship as much as possible, and then of course the reload, or yeah, main battery modification 3, which reduces your reload for the main guns. No point of going for torpedoes. Your bread and butter are your guns. That's the one you take on enemy DDs. You don't even need to mind the minus 13% turret traverse because these turrets are turning really, really quick. So this is already, I love this ship, I have to say. I mean, it's even better than the Daring in my opinion for its tier. Alright, so Captain Perks. Well, I went over, so first of all, priority target, mandatory. Last stand, of course, also mandatory. Then I had to make a sacrifice here. Either go for superintendent or I go for survivability expert. I think survivability expert is the better choice since you have more HP available. With superintendent, you only gain one more heal. Okay, one more hydro, one more smokes, but normally the games are over before you can use all of them. Except for the heal maybe, but hydro 3 charges max is alright, and 6 charges of smoke are also fine. You find yourself rarely in the case that you are not having enough smokes available. So I went for survivability expert, and yeah. Then I went, of course, for concealment expert, absolutely mandatory. And since I rate IFHE very high, and in the competitive mode, like ranked, you need RPF or RDF, how they call it nowadays, but you need that to know where the enemy destroyers are. So this is the build. I skipped just Superintendent and Adrenaline Rush from my normal random battle build. So, I mean, you can use this in random battles as well. And the last point goes in preventive maintenance to just, yeah, well, it doesn't make any sense to use expert loader since your reload is anyways pretty quick, and nothing else. You don't gain anything from incoming fire alert, and yeah, so preventive maintenance. Maybe it helps out your turrets even more. As I said, it tends to they tend to break a lot. All right. Yeah, that's it about the Jutland in the first ranked replay I made here. I guess that, think about it. Yeah, I won't make that about every ship, but some of the ships I will play, or I'll playing in ranked, I will definitely showcase. There will be probably also another Jutland replay from while to while because it seems as if that would be the ship I'm sticking to. At least I'm pretty confident in using this. and yeah, it's just giving you a little bit of an edge over the Kitakaze. I mean, of course, if you're a bad player, then probably Kitakaze is the better choice since it's more reliable in the damage. But this ship is made for, how can I say it, precise plays that have to be on point. Let's put it like that. You're just a DD killer, and that works pretty fine. All right, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like if you liked it. Maybe you can also put your experiences from Arms Race Ranked into the comments. Always happily to read and to communicate with you. Apart from that, I wish you a nice weekend and yeah, don't suffer too much in Ranked. Bye bye.